Okay, so get this. Today's deep dive, gold. And how about this? Every time, like, everything gets crazy in the world, gold prices just, boom, go nuts.
Mm.
We've got all this news, right, about markets jumping, global stuff. I mean, is gold really this safe haven? Like, for real? Or is that all just hype, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a question people have been asking forever, right? Like way back. And it is interesting, the news lately. Seems like gold IS going up.
For real.
Yeah, they're saying 0.9% hitting, wait for it, 2,660.69 an ounce.
Whoa, okay. So that's a lot. The news, it talks about the dollar being weaker, right? So is it like when you go on vacation and your dollar buys more stuff,
Yeah.
but like for gold?
Yeah, kinda. So when the dollar is weaker, it basically makes gold cheaper if you're using like euros or whatever. So more people around the world, they want to buy it. But I think it's more than that, you know?
What do you mean?
Well, like think about it. When things are scary in the world, people freak out, right? So they don't want to risk their money on, I don't know, crazy stocks or whatever. They want something safe, something solid, like gold.
That's
Classic, right?
safe haven. Yeah, and there's a lot to be nervous about.
Yeah.
Ukraine, right. Russia's getting, I don't know, more intense and like even saying they might use nukes. I mean, that's scary.
Yeah, no kidding. Ukraine is definitely, I'd say, a huge reason why markets are freaking out.
Right, right.
And it's not just that. Israel and Hezbollah, right, they've got that ceasefire, but it's shaky. Like both sides are pointing fingers, saying the other guys are breaking it.
Oh.
So yeah, more tension, more people running to gold. Makes sense, right?
Okay, so we've got global stuff pushing people towards gold. Got it. But then there's also the whole thing with the Federal Reserve, right? Everyone's betting on this interest rate cut in December. What's that about? How's that tied to gold?
Well, it's all about how interest rates, they affect investing. So if interest rates are low, things like bonds, they're not so hot anymore. They just give you a fixed return.
That's
Right?
it.
But gold doesn't give you any interest, no dividends or anything. So when interest rates are low, gold actually looks better by comparison.
Ah, so it's like it's all about what else is out there.
Yeah,
If the other stuff isn't doing well, gold doesn't look so bad.
exactly. They're saying 68.6% chance the Fed cuts rates, like 25 basis points, which means 0.25%, if that happens. Could be good for gold.
But wait, hold on. Didn't the news also say that inflation in the U.S. is still high? Like really high?
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean the Fed can't cut rates? They're kind of stuck, aren't they?
Yeah, for sure. It's tricky. I mean, they want the economy to grow, right? And cutting rates helps with that. But high inflation, they got to raise rates to, cool things down. Tough spot.
It's a total balancing act.
It is.
And then, just to throw another wrench in the works, you've got, all of Trump's economic policies. Like the trade war thing with China. Weren't people saying that was making inflation worse?
Right, yeah. That trade war, it messed up supply chains globally for sure. Things got more expensive. It's something the Fed has to think about. Definitely.
Okay, so let's say the Fed does cut rates. Does that mean like even higher inflation later? That's kind of scary. So what does all this mean for gold prices, if you had a guess?
Well, it's hard to say for sure. It really is. Gold, it's got all these factors pushing and pulling. Like, if inflation keeps going up, even with a rate cut, gold could look even better.
Right.
Because then it's like protection against, your money being worth less. But then there's other stuff like what if the dollar gets stronger? What if the fighting in, Ukraine or Israel calms down? That could make gold go down.
So basically, it's not a sure thing. There's so much going on, it's impossible to predict.
Exactly. And it's not just gold, by the way. Other metals are also jumping up in price. Platinum, silver.
Yeah.
Probably for the same reasons. They're seen as safe and they're also used in, industry and stuff.
Right. Right. I think I remember reading about that. There's something about copper, too, right? Copper prices are going up. Is that the safe haven thing or is that something else?
Copper, that's more of an industrial metal, not really a safe haven. But the price, it's tied to how the global economy is doing.
Okay.
And, well, there are these signs from China, like maybe their manufacturing is picking up. So that could be why copper's going up.
So it's like it's all connected, isn't it? Everything that happens in the world, like especially in big economies like China, it affects everything. Metals, other stuff. It just shows you how connected things are.
For sure. And that's something to remember when you're thinking about, investing, especially with something like gold, which reacts to everything.
Okay, so big picture, after this whole deep dive, is gold really the safe haven everyone says it is? What's the takeaway for our listener?
I think Honestly, it's complicated. Gold has always been like a way to protect yourself when things are bad. Keep your money safe. But it's not a guarantee. You really have to look at everything else happening in the world, the economy, all of it.
Right. It's not a magic solution.
Right, exactly. So here's something to think about. We've got all these trends, right? Geopolitical stuff, the economy, the Fed trying to figure out what to do. How will this affect the markets in the future? And even more importantly, what does it mean for you? Your money, your investments, all of it.
That's a great question to leave us with. What happens in the world matters. It affects us all. Something to keep in mind, especially now when things are so unpredictable.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's our deep dive for today. We'll be back next week with another one. See ya!
See ya!